Hello and welcome back to Phenomenal Reach. My name is Jeremy York, and today I am going to talk about my favorite professional wrestler, Bret Hitman Hart, and his memoir, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling. It is a thick book. It comes out to almost 600 pages, but if the formatting was like they have been doing today, this would easily be 700 pages. It's a long book. It covers his entire career from back in the 70s up until when he wrote this, which was in the early 2000s. I want to say '04, '05, '06, somewhere around there. And he talks about everything from his time in Stampede Wrestling, when he was wrestling for his father in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, to the time when he was wrestling for Vince McMahon at the WWF, and then for Eric Bischoff in WCW. He covers everything. He talks about all of these guys that he's worked with, from Hulk Hogan to Roddy Piper to Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. He talks about, sadly, he talks about Kerry Von Erich and how Kerry was talking to him about wanting to be with his brothers who were deceased. And unfortunately, about a year and a I think it was about a year and a half after that conversation where Kerry died, which is very unfortunate because he had so much potential. He talks about the death of his brother Owen. He talks about the death of his parents. He talks about him getting hurt and being forced to retire from wrestling. And I know that in recent years he sounds bitter, but I'm going to be honest, I'd be bitter about that too. If I could not do the one thing that I love because of somebody else hurting me, I'd be very extremely bitter about that, and I wouldn't be shy about it either. Which some people will find that later in one of my own books. But anyway, and in this picture right here on the back, this is actually in the Kemper Arena where his brother died months before. He had a match with Chris Benoit. They had one of the greatest matches ever. And they did that in tribute to Owen Hart, and this is after the match where he is paying tribute to him in his own way. But this here is the cover with the Winged Eagle World Wrestling Federation Championship, the best looking wrestling title ever, in my opinion and many other opinions. And no one will ever change my mind on that one. There is no debate on that. But this is an incredible story where he talks about the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and everything. He talks about his family. Talked about his divorce. He talked about his children. He talked about getting remarried. There is so much in this thing. It is an incredible read. And enough time has passed that he could probably write a second one. May not necessarily be this thick, but he could potentially write a second one if he wanted to. But if you are a wrestling fan, even if you don't like Bret Hart, I think you would enjoy this book. I really do. My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling, which is, especially these days, a very accurate statement. But yeah, I'm a huge wrestling fan. He is my all-time favorite. I know I've said it before, but I will always say it again. He is my all-time favorite. No one else comes close. He was just the best in the ring, and his catchphrase was "the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be," and it holds up to this day for him, because no one else has been able to tell stories inside the wrestling ring like him. Some have come close, but there's something about the way that he worked that is eons beyond everyone else. So yeah, if you're a wrestling fan or even a sports fan, or if you just like reading autobiographies of famous people, this one here I cannot recommend enough.